Hello everyone, it's Mike. Today is Wednesday, July 26th, 2017. We're out in the park for a little stroll, enjoying yet another glorious summer day. Reflection of the day is this. Let's talk about the Industrial Revolution. Back a little over 100 years ago, there were millionaires and billionaires made, and there are also people who came out on the wrong end of that. But even among those millionaires and billionaires that were made, they made some mistakes, and there are lessons that we can learn today from those mistakes. So let's turn back the clock a little over 100 years. What were the biggest industries of that time? I'm thinking oil, steel, and of course the railroads. Now, there's a lot going on during the Industrial Revolution, and during that time the automobile was invented and was starting to be mass produced, and people were starting to buy them for their own personal use as opposed to just wealthy people and corporations using them. That was an amazing opportunity for people who had the money and the foresight and all of that to be able to invest in that. The railroads were approached or considered it. It was over 100 years ago, so I'm not sure exactly how that story went. I'm telling a story that was told to me, that was told to someone else, that was told to someone else, that was told to someone else. So I don't know the details, and that's not even the point. But the railroads said no to investing in the automobile. And the reason they said no is because we are a railroad company. What do we know about automobiles? And you know, they don't have to know anything about automobiles, they just have to invest in it by a controlling interest. And they're in the automobile industry and can profit from it. But they said, no, we're a railroad company. What do we want to get into that for? Now imagine if they'd taken a different approach, had a less limiting belief, and said, hey, we're not a railroad company, we're a transportation company. Let's get into that. Imagine if the railroad companies had invested in a few automobile companies, the titans of industry and the juggernauts that they would be today. Certainly railroad companies still exist, and sure, they're big companies, but they're not titans of industry like the automobile companies are. A massive missed opportunity. Yet they didn't learn their lesson. I don't know how many years later, a couple of decades later maybe, I don't know, same thing started to happen with air travel. And guess what they said? We don't want to get into that, we're a railroad company. They're making the same mistake twice. What if they'd said we're a transportation company? And they would have gotten into air, either by buying airlines, investing in airlines, or investing in companies like what are now Boeing and what the heck is the other one? I can't think of it. I apologize, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, what if they'd invested in that? The kind of powerhouses and juggernauts that they would be today, the railroad companies, they would just be unstoppable forces of nature, if not for those missed opportunities. So where am I going with this? I'm talking about limited beliefs. How many times have we done that in our own lives? Made decisions based on those kind of limiting beliefs that have held us back, and you know, we look back on it and really kick ourselves. I can certainly think of some, and I bet you can too. Yeah, we kick ourselves pretty hard sometimes too, thinking about opportunities missed because of limiting beliefs. So that is one of many reasons I've been experimenting and exploring and working with this subliminal affirmation work, is to try to destroy those limited beliefs, toxic beliefs, negative self-talk, toxic self-talk. I want to be the one in charge of that instead of my subconscious mind that's not always making decisions in my best interest. They're making primal decisions in the interest of what it thinks is my my best interest, but it's not. It gets in the way of my growth and my success and a whole lot of other things. And I think it does for a whole lot of us. You heard me talking yesterday about sports figures and people in business like Donald Trump. Like I said yesterday, are those guys necessarily any smarter than the rest of us? Maybe a little. But I think their true advantage and the best explanation that I personally can give, these are just my opinions. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear from you. But the best explanation that I can give for their perpetual success, just victory after victory after victory after victory, is that they've mastered the mental game. Their subconscious mind is not in conflict with their conscious mind. They're a unified team working together. It's unbelievable what we as human beings can accomplish when those things are working together. And that's what I'm trying to do with this. I'm very much a work in progress. I've come a long way, and I've got a long way to go. Am I going to be someone like Donald Trump or Tiger Woods or someone that you're going to hear about in the news someday? Probably not. But I don't think I have to be for this to be a success and to have a victorious life. I'm happy just to make a good living and have healthy, positive, fulfilling, satisfying relationships. You know, I want to make as much money as I can, all of that, of course. But I don't have to be a billionaire to feel like that's happened. And that leads me to another story. This also happened during the Industrial Revolution. I read, 25 years or so ago now, I read a biography about John Muir. He was a naturalist, and he was real active after the Civil War. He went on walks all around the country to explore the geography and the plant life, animal life. He was an explorer. But that's not what the book, that's what the book was about. But one of the incidental stories to that book is that he was also an entrepreneur. And he managed to become a self-made millionaire. And this is over 100 years ago, when for someone to be a millionaire, that really meant something. That's probably like what it is for someone to be a billionaire today. So where am I going with this story? Well, one day John Muir, multi-millionaire, self-made John Muir, was sitting on a train next to one of these railroad tycoons who was probably 100 times wealthier than him. They were talking, and I imagine they started getting into a pissing contest about who's worth more and who earns more and all of this. And John Muir said, "Well, I'm richer than you." The railroad tycoon says, "What? What are you talking about? I'm worth 100 times more than you are." Well, John Muir says, "Well, that may be, but I have enough money. You apparently don't." I don't know if he said you apparently don't, but that's the takeaway. And that's what I keep talking about with this balance thing, is that it's important to be ambitious and to have goals and work toward those goals and better ourselves, improve our circumstance for ourselves and our loved ones. But at the same time, we also have to find balance with the riches that aren't always monetary that exist in our life right now, today. Because we all have that, and we need to make ourselves mindful of that and really celebrate that, so that we can, I'm prosperous right now, you're prosperous right now. We want to become more prosperous. So because I'm not a multimillionaire and all of that, that doesn't mean I'm a deadbeat and I'm worthless and have no value as a human being. I have a lot of value, and so do you, and a lot of worth, and so do you. You're as prosperous as I am right now, this very second, even if you don't have any money in your account or assets to your name. You're prosperous because you exist, and because you have loved ones in your life who love you and who love you, that you love them back. Did that come out right? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We already have prosperity in our lives, and that's not something to make light of. That's something to celebrate, and to really search within and make a rigorous inventory of that, so we can really celebrate that and jump up and down about the prosperity we have right now, so that we can enjoy the moment right now, in case you're not, in case I'm not, in case we have those feelings that we're Our self-worth is attached to our bank account, how big our bank account is. And then at the same time, be ambitious and be just as rigorous about improving our circumstance, whether it's entrepreneurial activities or investing in the stock market, stocks, bonds, options, commodities, or whatever it is you're into to try to improve yourself. They're both vitally important, and I don't believe personally in sacrificing one for the other. I think to me they walk hand in hand. There's a synergy there, and in the same way that we have to master the synergy between our conscious mind and our subconscious mind, we also have to master that synergy between our current prosperity and the future prosperity that we're working toward. And God, I'm 11 minutes into it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this channel and viewing my videos. If you like it, please browse the channel and subscribe. Also, if you are benefiting from my videos, the personal growth videos like this one that you're watching, as well as the affirmation videos, please support the channel by clicking on the retailer links in the description. When you click on one of those links and make an order within 24 hours, the retailer sends me a small commission. It's not very much, but added up, it really means a lot, and that's what makes this channel possible. It doesn't cost anything extra for you when you do that, but that you're helping this channel to exist and helping these videos to be possible. So I thank you in advance for that, and I ask you to click on my links, my retailer links, whenever you plan to do some online shopping. Please order within 24 hours of clicking on the links, or it won't count. I won't get the small commission. So I thank you in advance for that huge favor. Thank you for support of the channel, and I'll do my best to try to bring interesting, thought-provoking content and affirmation videos to you. That's it. Thanks for everything. Have a great day. We'll catch you on the other side.